Welcome to Music in Motion. I'm Sean Rock, and you are?
I'm Kate.
Kate, here we are in the X1039 studio. Another Friday. You were gone last week, so we kind of skipped because we're lazy without you.
I was partying hard with my family.
That's cool, though. That's so cool. It was your birthday, so happy belated birthday here on the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah. But let's get back to work. I wanted to tackle this last week, but I didn't want to tackle it alone. So now that you're back, let's dive into it, especially now that we have even more music from what we're about to dive into. Share, subscribe to Music in Motion, tell your friends about it, follow us on all of our socials at 1039RXP. Also our other station, 94.3 Kilo. We're a duo here on this podcast, so hit us up on all of our socials online and get our apps too. Our apps have like easy access to the podcast, but we're on all podcast platforms. You can find us. All right, Kate, let's dive into it. So easily one of the greatest, I say anymore, a lot of people say metal bands or, put them into the metal genre, but get mad about it because maybe they're not exactly just metal anymore. Of course, we're talking about the mighty Metallica. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how much you know about Metallica other than being on the radio.
I honestly, when I met you and started working at K-Rock in Kansas, because that was our first station, that was outside of the hits. And
Sure.
Of course, the big songs that everybody in the world knows.
Right.
My Metallica knowledge was slim to none. I didn't grow up in a household that listened to Metallica.
Yeah.
Just didn't.
How sad for you.
I know. It was a lot of Queen. And
that's okay too. The guys in
love
Metallica
Queen,
listen to Queen.
Led Zeppelin, Beatles, but Metallica just didn't quite make it.
But you know what? They're there now, right?
Right.
In my opinion, they're with the greats. They're with Led Zeppelin. They're with Queen because they've definitely just knocked walls down, But I do want to tell you this. You didn't always hear Metallica on the radio, all right?
One thing I was
happened.
So excited to do this because you're about to give me a history knowledge.
There was always been like metal shows or certain stations that were heavier that played Metallica, but not all rock stations played Metallica until this thing happened. I would say first, in Justice for All, we got one and a lot of MTV presence and all of that, and so then that started sort of like crumbling down the walls that were blocking out Metallica on regular rock radio. But it was the Black Album that really opened up so many doors, so many things. I think it may have been the Black Album that started mandatory Metallica on so many radio stations across the country. They just became a household name, because of the Black Album. It was so many people credit that album as their gateway to metal, But at the same time, deep fans, a lot of metalheads say it's not a metal album and it's not exactly my favorite Metallica album, which is crazy. So you get these crazy dynamics of people who love it or people who are like, I dropped Metallica at that point. So it's just so interesting to me. The dynamic of the whole thing is interesting to me. And we're talking about it because the box set is coming out in celebration of the 30th anniversary. It came out in 1991. So the 30th anniversary of Metallica, known as the Black Album. It's really just called Metallica. Okay. So there you go. I feel like I'm a teacher.
I know. I'm taking notes.
You'll get a test on this later. Yeah.
I took a history of rock and roll class actually in college, and did they cover it? It was like a paragraph.
What?
Yeah, it was. They skipped a lot of hair metal. Like,
it's not hair metal.
What am I trying to say? Sorry, I'm gonna cut that comment out so I don't get, hate.
My butt just clenched.
Not hair metal, but a lot of rock from that era. It was like they started with the 60s or like 50s and 60s, covered a lot of 70s, and then jumped like straight to the 90s. We did like a week on Tommy by The Who.
The rock opera, Tommy. Yeah.
We did like a week on that. And
Weird,
like
really?
a paragraph on Metallica, yeah.
Huh. You should have come to my rock and roll class. Just kidding.
I was at K-Rock at the time.
Well, with that, we thought we'd dive into it because one of the most interesting things about this box set is not only is it straight up over the top because Metallica can do that. Everything they're going to do always is going to be next level and huge and meaty and giving the fans so much, right? Because they just don't do anything half-ass.
Right.
Metallica does nothing half-ass. So with that comes this companion album, and it's called The Blacklist, and it's basically an album full of other artists paying tribute to the Black Album and paying tribute to Metallica, but it's so many unexpected artists. And we first got the taste of it, we got the news of it ahead of it being released out to the public. Let's talk about Biffy Clyro, which just came out like 2 days ago, I guess at the beginning of the week. They're covering Holier Than Thou, but that's what we were played. Mm-hmm. And they asked us to guess who it was, and I thought it was Ghost.
Yeah, I mean, it's very heavy for Biffy Clyro.
I mean, the vocals, you get a taste of it, but the music itself, it kind of sounds like Ghost, which, by the way, Ghost is on the Blacklist album, so we'll get a taste of that at some point. But yeah, already there's St. Vincent, am I right? We have the weird first one that we got, which is Miley Cyrus with Elton John.
Which I've been excited to talk about that one.
So yeah, so let's dive into it. So what you've heard so far from the Metallica Blacklist, which obviously a huge range of artists paying tribute and contributing to this cover album, but full profits, right, are going to Metallica's foundation, which is a charitable foundation, All Within My Hands. They do so much. They have millions of dollars, and each artist got to select their own charity.
There's a lot of different artists, so there's 53, but probably 12 songs because they all basically chose what song they wanted to cover.
So
right?
let's jump right into that, because one of our favorite things that we've done ever since they released the teaser video, which you can find on their website at Metallica.com. You can find it on YouTube everywhere, are the comments. We specifically went to YouTube to watch the teaser video for the Blacklist, which highlights like different bands, and it's just crazy, and blow up a TV and all kinds of stuff. But
I feel like it's every band. Like they did a super cut of like 5 songs of every band.
Long. Yeah. And the comments, though, you got to dive right into the comments, because it's like every conversation that I've had about Metallica with anybody.
And it goes back to what you were saying, where Metallica fans, specifically with this album, they were just so either they loved it or they hated it. And it's just that like magnified with all of this, I feel like.
It's such a dynamic, seriously. And Nothing Else Matters gets the most comments because it is absolutely the most covered song. Like, they didn't tell the artist, you have to play this song or that song. They chose, and obviously so many artists are going to pick Nothing Else Matters.
Sure. And that's actually the first one that we heard from it. Because Miley Cyrus featuring Watt, Elton John, Yo-Yo Ma, Robert Trujillo, and Chad Smith. All on one version, by the way. They that was the first taste of the covers album because that was released first. I wanted to be in a room with like 50 old school Metallica fans when they find out Miley Cyrus was covering Nothing Else Matters. I wanted to see that in person so bad. And that's what so many of the comments say is just talking shit about Miley Cyrus, like specifically being on this. And my reaction is, why wouldn't she? Like, it took her a really long time to get people to respect her, which is fine, but when you really, really sit down and listen to her, like, her voice is incredible, and she does such a good job on a lot of covers like this. Like, she's covered a lot of artists, and so,
it kind of reminds me of Joan Jett, and she's worked with Joan Jett, obviously, but Joan Jett has done and did the same thing as her career went on. She's covered so many amazing artists over the years. And when you can just do that, make it your own, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. It's just paying tribute,
I mean, we've talked about this before, there's so many women in music that people just hear their name and they're like, ugh, trash, untalented.
I know. And honestly, like Metallica worked with Lady Gaga. And I remember when Lady Gaga came out, she kind of got that, you know, it was either you really love Lady Gaga or you just couldn't stand what she stood for, who she was.
People couldn't comprehend she wore a meat dress. They're like, what is this person?
Metallica not afraid to work with artists outside of the metal or rock world, you know? So not just like Lady Gaga and Miley Cyrus, but they did a whole album with Lou Reed. And people got really mad about that. They don't care. They are a universe. They create a whole economy when they tour. It's a whole economy. They bring a whole economy into each city that they hit.
It's like a
massive.
city.
It's insane.
Their own city.
let's dive into these comments though, because it's really a lot of the highlight of what we're talking about, just to give you a taste of how passionate people are when it comes to Metallica.
Well, I'm going to start with my favorite. Of course, this is my favorite. I don't know why, but I feel like this is going to be the Hamilton mixtapes of metal.
And it is. I'm sure it is. There's so much great stuff, but that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. That's my favorite comment because somebody mentioned the Hamilton mixtapes.
Here's one of my favorites. This is from Penguin DT. Trent Reznor composes Disney cartoon soundtracks. Danny Elfman put out the best industrial album I've heard in years. And now Elton John performs Metallica. World has gone insane, and I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, I was wondering where you're going to go with that. Here's one. I like this one a lot. This is, of course, on YouTube. It says, I didn't write the usernames down. Should we put them on blast next time?
I will. I'll put mine on blast.
Like, people know who they are.
Yeah, they do.
It says, I'm between the thumb of like and the thumb of dislike. I'd give it half a thumb.
Dude, I've done that on so many things where you're like,
They should have the half the thumb option.
Anthony Clancy, I'll donate to charity for this not to be released.
It's like, okay.
Anthony is kind of like where my husband is on so many things when Metallica does this stuff. So the other morning when the Biffy Clyro came out, I was playing it. And I didn't say one word. We're laying in bed. It's in the morning. We're drinking our coffee. And I just started playing it. And, you know, I'd already heard it. But there was silence. There was no discussion. There was nothing. Not one thing. And then I went to the off, which they both came out at the same time. And still nothing, whatever. And he's like, that other band, who is that? Who was that doing that? I said, Off? And he's like, I know who Off is. Who's the other one? I was like, Biffy Clyro. It was just silence. And then he started saying something, and then he just shut himself down because he knows that, like, I don't want to hear it. But he showed so much restraint, so much. So I'm really proud of him.
The wheels are spinning in his head.
But if you say you want to be in a room with like 50 Metallica, like deep, hardcore metal Metallica fans, that's what you would get is like this silence and just like heads exploding. Metal heads exploding. But
I love that comment. It's like, okay, donate to there, because there was another comment too similar. It was like, I'll just give straight to the charity, so I don't have to buy this. It's like, okay, go for it. Like, who are you sticking it to with that?
Nick Baird said, really excited to see how badly some of these artists ruin Metallica songs.
Which, they're not gone forever. That's the thing, is people think this is going to like, oh, I could never listen to it again.
Yeah.
This is going to be the only version.
Metallica, the Black Album, is 16 times platinum. 16 times platinum. Don't worry. It's still the same. You can still listen to it without all of this. And in fact, in box set form, in like, I don't know how much that thing's going to cost. Seriously. I haven't even dove into that. It's so amazing.
Some people will not care. Like, I'll dip into my savings for this.
Yeah.
This one's funny. I bet half these people don't even know Metallica, just wanted a part, so they sung the most overrated song, which I guess
nothing else matters. That's what everybody's mad about. And it's like, what are you going to do? Like, who cares? So here's how I can end with the comments, because this sort of will sum up why so many people covered Nothing Else Matters or Enter Sandman. So Guillermo said, Metallica's doing it again. The Black Album was once the door for many people to discover metal and enjoy metal. It made it more accessible back then, and now with this idea, it will bring newer generations to metal as well. Love it.
Yes.
Thank you, Guillermo.
Yes.
Yes. Good. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It is what it is. Yeah. Get over it. Not everybody's going to be like, I'm diving, to discover metal. They're not going to be like, I'm diving right into Cannibal Corpse or Testament. You gotta ease into it, man. You gotta, kind of pace yourself. So
yeah, and the whole point, like you talked about before, Metallica has worked with so many of these artists, and
yeah,
so
for sure.
I feel like the normal person, the fan, just assumes that maybe they wouldn't be a part of such a big world of musicians. It's like, but they are. Everybody is a part of it.
Yeah.
And so I feel like they have this need to comment on them working with artists outside of their genre.
They're celebrities.
Yeah.
I mean, they're rock stars. They're also celebrities. Lars, he runs around with all kinds of people, right? I mean, they're their own people, and they're unique in their own way, each member of Metallica, and those from the past as well. But I just feel like they're just beyond putting them into one little corner. Metallica's metal is a big corner, but yeah, Metallica just doesn't fit into one corner.
No.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Let's run down some of the artists, Kate, before we wrap things up. And I want to know what you're most excited about. Is it something you've already heard? And then we'll go over a little bit more about the actual box set itself. We'll give you the rundown on that. But remember to subscribe, follow our socials, and for sure jump over to Metallica's YouTube channel and just read some of these comments to yourself because it's super entertaining.
So running down some of the artists, I'm excited for the Phoebe Bridgers. She chose Nothing Else Matters, but she is one of my tops right now, my top artists. She's incredible. We spent so much time last week listening to her with my family. And diving into her collection. I'm excited for hers. I'm excited for Portugal the Man, Don't Tread on Me. Also, Chris Stapleton, he's on here. Did he do Nothing Else Matters?
Yes.
It's a good bet.
I believe he did, yeah. I believe he did.
I love Chris Stapleton. I don't listen to a lot of country, but he has an insane, incredible voice, and I've loved him for years. And so I'm excited to just hear what he comes up with because I know it's going to be great.
Looking at this list, by the way, because you made sure I had it in front of me, which is great.
It's like 3 pages.
I appreciate that. It reminds me of the latest episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars.
Wait, latest, like last night?
Yeah.
Oh,
have you not watched it?
No. Oh, shoot.
It's just, okay, I'll say this. It's like when our queens do like an impersonation but then they have to do like an interpretation. Like, I feel like that's what this is. Like, each band and artist is like interpreting these songs.
Like Snatch Game?
Yeah, but it wasn't that.
It wasn't Snatch Game. Yeah, we're not to Snatch Game yet.
Well, dang it. I thought we were going to get to sneak in a RuPaul conversation.
Well, we still could.
No, we won't. We'll wait. I think I'm most pumped for a few that we have not heard yet. I do think the Biffy Clyro is super cool, but I'm really excited about the Off release, and the video is really cool. The video is so amazing. It has David Yao in it, playing a creepy like preacher guy. So go check that out. They do Holier Than Thou, and it is in a church. They're doing a video in a church. Ugh, I love Off so much. So Ghost, Enter Sandman, pumped about that. Weezer doing Enter Sandman. I want to hear their interpretation of Metallica because I actually think they're going to do it close to Metallica.
Yeah, they always do their covers pretty on the nose.
Right. White Reaper doing Sad But True. And I think I'm really 100% intrigued, excited, and freaked out about Cage the Elephant. They're going to be doing The Unforgiven. And I just think that's going to be next level and maybe making that song a hit all over again. Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't it? So, yeah, those are the ones I'm excited about. Also, Volbeat, Don't Tread on Me.
Ooh, can we talk about Alicia Cara and The Warning?
Yeah. That's
number one on here?
That should be like the one thing we talk about before we close things up. So it's 3 young girls is how they started, and they started with just like doing a cover of Metallica that blew up and went viral a few years ago. But people fell in love with them, and they're a real band, and Metallica's including them on this.
And they're number one on the
And they're
track
number
list.
one, right? Oh, man. So
They're
fantastic.
Like, here's how you do Metallica covers.
So fantastic. The weird ones, Mac DeMarco being on here is really cool. I don't know if that's going to be like a beachy
that's
Metallica.
Those are the ones I'm excited about too. Is just, they're going to be such different interpretations of it.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point.
Idol's doing The God That Failed, by the way, is another highlight. And I want to say this, Cate, check out Imelda May before you hear her do The God That Failed, because I just want you to go back and listen to Imelda May. If you're not familiar with her work, go back and listen to her. She's amazing.
Okay.
All right?
My Morning Jacket, I'm excited about too.
See, so we're pumped about this, right?
How about Darius Rucker doing Nothing Else Matters?
See,
that's Hootie, right? Hootie and the Blowfish?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
we'll see.
This is where I draw the line,
great.
okay? No, it won't. No, it won't. This is my moment, okay? This is my moment to be mad about one thing. And if I'm going to be mad about something, it's going to be, I'm sorry, Darius Rucker. I don't know you. You're probably not even ever going to listen to this podcast, but I don't want to hear you covering Metallica. I don't. Metallica, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just the one thing I'm not happy about. So
is there anything we haven't thrown out? I don't want to end on a bad one. What about Pup? Pup is on here. That'll be great.
Yeah, Pup will be great. Then we'll end it on that. All right. So the Metallica Blacklist, obviously celebrating the Black Album, a.k.a. Metallica, a.k.a. the Black Album, and all profits from the Metallica Blacklist. That's going to be split 50-50 between Metallica's All Within My Hands Foundation and the charity of each performer's choice. So that's cool. It looks like the complete release will be out September 10th. So you can look forward to that.
I'm sure we'll get lots of releases between now and then. I'm excited.
Right. And then, and then the box set itself is going to be insane. So get ready for that. It's going to be out September 10th, by the way. It is a box set, or is it just like that? It's going to be a full box set, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not crazy about that. So
you got time to save up.
Good luck. Good luck. There's a lot of concerts and stuff happening. So there you go. Metallica, they need your money. One time I stood not too far from James Hetfield, and I thought I was in the presence of an angel. I was.
Did he come in with a glow around him?
He got out of his giant black SUV, and yes, angels glowing. It was amazing.
And it zooms in on you, and and your hair is blowing, and he's walking towards you very slow.
James, call me.